So a couple things. First of all, we're going to look at the box office. This is going to be the last box office before Avatar, the Avatar sequel, comes out. We're also going to look at the projections for Avatar, the final projections before Avatar, before it also comes out. And it has been a really bad week for Patty Jenkins. We're going to get into that. All that right now on couple things. Yeah. That was really dumb. All right, so first we're going to look at the weekend box office. This is the fifth weekend for Black Panther, and as you can see here, it still kept the top spot with 11 million. I had thought that Violent Night had a pretty good chance of unseating Wakanda Forever just because every weekend it was dropping about 50%. Wakanda Forever was dropping about 50% every weekend. So I thought if it dropped another 50%, that possibly Violent Night could jump into the number one spot. But as you can see here, it only dropped 37%, so that's a pretty good hold in its fifth weekend. And Violent Night had about the same drop, so pretty good number on that as far as Violent Night goes. And it's already made 26 million, so it's in pretty good shape. I did want to look at the numbers with Black Panther compared to Doctor Strange because it was tracking pretty similar to Doctor Strange, and then also let me throw the original Black Panther on here too. And let me zoom in here. Yeah, that's fine. So the blue up here is the original Black Panther. Red is Doctor Strange, and orange is Wakanda Forever. So you can see here for the first about 10 days, they were almost identical numbers, Doctor Strange and Wakanda Forever. And then about the second week, it started to take a little higher of a track, meaning it's got a better staying power than Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange, these are all domestic numbers, by the way, ended with 411, and this one is, again, as you can see, kind of trending above that. So you're probably looking about 425, 450, something like that. And this original Black Panther, you can see here, it made quite a bit more, 700 million domestically. So if you compare that, what did I say on that? About 450. So that would make it obviously more than Doctor Strange domestically. But as you can see here in these comparisons, that it's making considerably less, almost like 160, $180 million less internationally. So while it's going to make a little bit more domestically, it's making a lot less internationally. So therefore, your total is probably going to be, this is the total for Doctor Strange, and it's probably going to be about, I'm going to say 50 million less than that at least. So you're looking about 900 million on that. And that's going to be kind of the final week for Black Panther to make any kind of major major money at the box office, because Wakanda Forever is coming out in just a couple days. And that brings me to the second story, which is the tracking for the opening weekend for Avatar. And last week it was the highest it had, I think, was 180. Now they've upped it, as you can see here, to this 9%. Let me just highlight all that. There's enough of it there. And so you can see they added another +9, where the bottom they say is 167 and the top is 192. I said last week it was probably going to be about 180. And I'm just going to probably stay by that. It's still in this range here. So if it gets to that 180, let me pull up my little spreadsheet here. Okay, so 180 would put it right around those two, Wakanda Forever and Doctor Strange. This is just kind of a collection of random movies that I found. The first movie, I think, made like 70, the first Avatar, but that was 2009. Which is like a lifetime ago. Okay. Lastly, I don't know who Patty Jenkins pissed off, but there is a whole bunch of stories about her this week, and So yeah, the big one everybody heard about was the Wonder Woman 3. I think actually they're both listed on here. Yeah, Wonder Woman 3 was canceled, and there's rumors that it was canceled because um, she didn't want to take feedback and has a beef with Peter Gunn and James Gunn and Peter Safran. Um, I don't know if this is true. She wrote the second movie, and it was not good. She directed the first one, and it was good. But when she wrote and directed, it kind of all went to crap. So they were wanting to make some changes here, give her some feedback, and the rumor is that she didn't, I guess, appreciate the feedback, and now they're just not going to make it with her at all, if they're going to make it at all. So that was the first thing, and then this came out all in the same week that her script for Rogue Squadron was a mess. So I don't know what she did, who she pissed off or whatever, but yeah, it's been a bad week for her. So it says here, a new rumor claims that Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron script was a mess. Jenkins was originally announced as the director for Star Wars Rogue Squadron by Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy during the Disney Investor Day 2020. And they made like a big deal about this. They shot this video of like fighter jets and her in a fighter jet and all this stuff. But then in November of last year, it was reported that the film was indefinitely delayed. So they talked about it, and then a year later, they're just like, yeah, we're just not doing it. So sources say, again, sources, grain of salt, so I don't know how reliable this stuff is. Sources say the producers and filmmaking team came to the realization that Jenkins' schedule and other commitments wouldn't allow for the window needed to make the movie. Thus, it's been taken off production schedule. The hope is that once Jenkins fulfills her previous commitments, she will be able to return to the project. Well, it sounds like she's got some free time now. And then this guy, Matthew Belloni, would later... Bellany? Maybe it's Bellany. I don't know. Anyway, he said, I talked to a few insiders this week that said the real culprit was the dreaded creative differences. Specifically, Jenkins couldn't agree on the script with Lucasfilm executives. Man, she has a hard time with the scripts of these executives. It's the same thing with Wonder Woman. And now this guy is saying that the Rogue Squadron script was a mess. Who is this? Jeff Snyder of The Ankler. I don't know what that is, but that's the source we're using on Bounding in the Comics. So I'm not sure how reliable it is, but it says, I've heard some of the things about Patty Jenkins. I've heard she's a nightmare. I hate to be the guy who's calling the woman a name, but I get it. But then he detailed, so I've heard everything she turned in with Wonder Woman 3 was like a mess. I heard the Star Wars thing was a mess. He finished the segment saying, I don't know what you want me to say. That's what I've heard. So that's coming from this person here of The Ankler, the journalistic bastion that is known as The Ankler. I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. It may be good, but yeah, she's not had a good week. So all right, that's all for this one, and thanks for checking it out. I'm actually going to see the what was it called? Violent Night. So that might be my next video, is a review of that. I'm seeing that this week, I think Tuesday. So if I like it, I might get one out to review Tuesday night. If not, maybe later on that week. If I don't like it, I probably won't do a review at all. So yeah, thanks for watching, and that's it. Okay, bye.